Hello, this is the section 2.1 lesson. In chapter 1 we started talking about whole numbers, and we talked about decimals, and we talked about negative numbers. So now it's time to move on to everyone's favorite type of numbers, fractions. So in this section we're going to talk about what is a fraction and what does it mean. So a fraction is a number that looks like this. We have one number over another number. That number on top is called the numerator. That number on the bottom is called a denominator. And those numbers A and B are counting numbers, which means that they're whole numbers. And that denominator B cannot equal 0. The numerator could equal 0, but the denominator cannot equal 0. So that's what a fraction looks like, but what does a fraction mean? Well, let's start off with one very, very important definition dealing with fractions, and that's the idea of the whole, or also called the unit amount, is the total amount of interest. Okay? So what does that mean? Well, let's look at a couple of examples of statements involving fractions. Let's take the statement half of a pizza. Well, in that statement, the whole is the pizza. Another statement, 3/4 of a cup of water. The whole is the cup of water. So whenever we make a statement about a fraction, there's always a of part. It's always a fraction of something. That something is the whole. Another example, let's take this statement, 5/8 of a collection of army guys. So here's a picture of some army guys. And so in this statement, the whole is this collection of army guys. The entire collection is our whole. So the whole can be one continuous object like a pizza or a cup of water. A whole can also be a collection of discrete objects like our collection of army guys here. Now, a very, very important point that we're going to be stressed whenever we talk about fractions is that defining the whole is critically important. If you don't state what the whole is, then the fraction isn't going to make any sense. So we're going to be stressing this point over and over again. Now, our next definition is what we call a unit fraction. So to define the unit fraction, we first divide the whole up into b equal pieces. So b is going to be our denominator. So then each one of those pieces is called 1 over b of the whole. This fraction 1 over b is called a unit fraction. So unit fraction is a fraction where the numerator is 1 and the denominator is the number of pieces that the whole was divided up into, the number of equal pieces that the whole was divided up into. So let's give a couple of examples. Let's take the statement 1/8 of a pizza. So this 1/8 means that we're going to divide the pizza into 8 equal pieces. So here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so 1/8 of the pizza equals 1 slice of that pizza. Let's take the statement half of a circle. So here the whole is the circle. 1/2 means we're going to take that circle, divide it up into 2 equal pieces. And then one of those pieces equals 1/2 of the circle. Another example dealing with our army guys. So let's take the statement 1/8 of the collection. So 1/8 means that we're going to take our collection and divide it up into 8 equal pieces. So this collection is already divided up naturally into 8 equal pieces. Each one of those army guys is an equal piece. Now, they're not identical. You know, some of these guys are standing up, some of them are kneeling. So they're not identical, but they are equal in the sense that they're all army guys. So 1/8 means that we're going to divide our collection up into 8 equal pieces. And then each one of those pieces is 1/8 of the collection. So in this case, 1/8 of the collection is one army guy. So there's a unit fraction. Now let's go on to define a more general fraction. So the fraction a over b represents a pieces, each of which is 1 over b of the whole. And so when we talk about a general fraction, we're going to start off with dividing the whole into b pieces. Each one of those pieces is 1 over b. And then in the fraction a over b, we're going to take a of those pieces. So, as an example, let's take the statement 3/8 of a pizza. So this means we're going to divide our pizza up into 8 equal pieces. That's our denominator. Our numerator says that we're going to select 3 of those pieces. So 3/8 of the pizza is 3 slices of our pizza. Let's take the statement 2/4 of a circle. So that denominator 4 means that we're going to take our whole circle, divide it up into 4 equal pieces. The numerator 2 says that we're going to select 2 of those pieces. So 2/4 of a circle is 2 of those pieces. Take another example. The statement 5/8 of the collection of army guys. So that means we're going to divide our collection up into 8 equal pieces. That's our denominator. And the numerator 5 says that we're going to select 5 of those pieces. So maybe we'll select these 5 army guys right there. So that right there, those 5 army guys, is 5/8 of our collection. Now there's no reason why I had to select those 5 specific army guys. I could have selected 5 of them, but 5 army guys equals 5/8 of our collection. Now 3 important points that we're going to stress whenever we talk about fractions. So number 1, a fraction is a number of pieces of the whole. So a fraction 3/8, for instance, means we've got 3 pieces. 5/8 means we've got 5 of those pieces. A fraction is always a number of pieces. Number 2, point we've already stressed, defining the whole is critically important. If we don't define the whole, then the fraction is meaningless. And then third, another very important point, the denominator is not the whole. The whole is the large object that we're interested in. The denominator simply tells us how many pieces the whole was divided up into. So again, the denominator is not the whole. The denominator simply tells us how many pieces the whole was divided up into. So keep those 3 points in mind whenever you're interpreting fractions. Your assignment for next class period is to read section 2.1 from the textbook.